What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We have another video, man. This video, a U.S. general, I guess he's saying why the U.S. needs Canada for national security. I guess that's what it's about. It's a U.S. military general explains why Canada is required for U.S. national security. So let's check this video out and see what's going on. Now, hope everyone's doing well. Having a wonderful holiday season. You know, everyone has high spirits and good hopes. Hopefully, we're going to continue to react to this Canadian content for sure, plus other stuff as well. But you know, I like learning about Canada. Like, we're so close. To me, I'm like, man, we're so close, but I know so little. You know what I mean? For like it's like being with your partner and you don't know nothing about them. You know what I'm saying? Like, there, Canada is like, that's like family, right? Yeah, we don't know. You know, me personally, I don't know too much about Canada. Now I do, but when I started, I didn't know too much about Canada. But let's go.
Congressman, Canada and the U.S.
General Guillot, talk to us about how Canada and the U.S. partner on our air defenses.
Congressman, Canada and the U.S. are part of the only binational command in the world, and NORAD, and have been for almost 70 years. So the air defense, aerospace control, and maritime warning mission are shared between Canada and the United States through NORAD. And so we're integrated at all levels in that mission.
And if Canada were to drop out of that, how would that change our mission in terms of being able to protect our airspace?
Well, sir, the primary way it would be is the northern approaches would be severely under-resourced, and we would lose a significant amount of domain awareness and response in the northern approaches, which is the fastest and the easiest approach for adversaries to take to North America.
You know, I've worked in NATO.
So Canada is at a very important place on the map. So the easiest and the most quickest way for adversaries to attack North America is through the northern borders, is what he's saying. So it's important that we have Canada, you know, as our allies. So why are we trying to treat them like, I don't want to say treat them like because I don't think we treat them like but why are we not trying to treat them like we need them? You know what I mean? Like, why are you do your friends like this? I don't understand.
You know, I've worked with the Canadians, I've worked with the Danes, and I'm concerned about some of the comments that these are our allies. And so as a traditional Republican, I hate to see the friction with our allies. Are you seeing any of those frictions at all at NORAD or NORTHCOM?
Congressman, as you know, in NORAD, we have several hundred Canadians that work side by side with us, as well as at the installations. At the military-to-military relationship level, we have zero problems or concerns. Everybody's focused on defending our continent, and I'm real proud of the effort that they're putting into it.
Thank you. Good to hear. Mr.
You mentioned earlier, General, regarding the northern trajectory. My colleagues across the aisle are quite upset about corrective actions that the executive branch is taking regarding our relations with our allies and adversaries alike across the world. You mentioned the northern trajectory was brought up as a concern. So when you describe the northern trajectory, you're talking about tracking ICBMs, is that correct?
Yes, sir, and cruise missiles.
Okay. So ICBMs and cruise missiles. So the American technologies on sea-based and land-based and space-based technologies that track these launches, the launch of a cruise missile or an intercontinental ballistic missile from a northern trajectory that an adversary would most likely use to make a fast and effective approach to the United States. Can we track that with Canada or not? Without Canada or not?
We can do the detection and the mid-course tracking, depending on the route. There's some routes where we could track it without Canada. Others, if it goes straight, in the 12 o'clock position, we would need Canadian assets.
So the Canadian assets that you're describing, would you clarify the way those joint operations work when it comes to tracking ICBM? Does this not transcend trade negotiations? And we're talking about an incoming nuclear missile.
For ICBMs, the capabilities are all United States. Canada has a policy that they don't conduct ballistic missile defense. For the cruise missiles, we would rely on some of the radars and the fighters that Canada has, depending on the route of the cruise missile.
So you've worked with our Canadian allies for a long time, correct, General?
Yes, I have, sir.
Can you envision any scenario under any conditions where there would be an incoming cruise missile ICBM detected by our Canadian allies or by American tech that we would not share that with Canada and vice versa?
Gentleman's time's expired.
I want to assuage some of the fears of my Democrat colleagues that are concerned about the Panama Canal and remind them that in 1956, when Gamal Abdel Nasser seized the Suez Canal, the British and the French got together with the Israelis and they took that back. And then the only way that was resolved is that there was a UN peacekeeping mission that took over security for the Suez Canal. In 1989, when Manuel Noriega was acting up, we did use military force to seize the Panama Canal in Operation Just Cause. So there is precedent for this because those are the only two strategic canals on the entire planet. And if we need to act in the best interests of the United States, as we have done in the past, or our allies, we shall. And that should not be controversial at all.
Recent quotes of the Prime Minister of Canada, who said it's clear that the U.S. is no longer a reliable partner. It's possible with comprehensive negotiations we could reestablish an element of confidence, but there will be no going backwards. The old relationship we had with the United States based on deepening integration of our economies and tight security and military cooperation is over, he said. That's the Prime Minister of Canada said that. How does this posture impact your ability to defend the United States from threats conveyed through the Arctic and through other northern territories?
Congressman, we've been fortunate that the relationship, military to military relationship with Canada, primarily in NORAD, which is a binational command, has been as strong as ever over the recent months, and we're all dedicated to detecting air and maritime threats and ensuring that we can defeat those threats to protect the U.S. and Canada. And so I have not seen any negative ramifications at the military to military level.
Let's be clear, because, see, I don't like how that guy asked the questions. Now, the Prime Minister did say that. But why was the reason behind it? See, that's what a lot of people like to skip. What was the reason for him saying this? Because he don't want to take that from Trump and the U.S., what they're trying to say about Canada, what they're trying to do to Canada. Like, that needs to be said in these meetings. Yeah, well, okay, he said we're not going to go back to the old relationship because we've been betrayed. Betrayal has taken place, man. So, like, I feel like certain things need to be said in these meetings that's not being said. Okay, you saying what he said, but why did he say that? There's a reason for this.
My home state, New Hampshire, shares a 58-mile border with Canada. It's a border that's been peaceful. It's a relationship, as you have all testified, that is really important to American national security. Winston Churchill said that it's a border that has been peaceful because it's guarded by our neighborly respect and honorable obligations to one another. General, starting with you, could you tell us why does the relationship between the United States and Canada matter?
Congresswoman, from my perspective, it's because we are part of a binational command in NORAD, and we share the strong and important burden of defending Canada and the United States against air and maritime threats, and that's built on capability and trust.
So the North American Aerospace Defense Command, NORAD, you mentioned it's the world's only binational command. What would it mean for American national security if Canada were to pull out of its cooperation with our country in NORAD?
Well, we'd have to fundamentally change how we approached air defense and maritime warning because of the shared and distributed nature of the command and its capabilities today.
And how would you go about doing that? What would that require?
Well, but to be honest, I haven't put thought to it, but obviously resources. We would need additional radar coverage. We would need additional aircraft and maritime assets to cover what Canada provides today.
You mentioned air and maritime cooperation. What about land cooperation? Where has, in your assessment, where have our Canadian partners fallen short with respect to the security of our homeland and our border security along our northern border?
Oh my gosh. Look, listen to her. How have they fallen short? Boy, you need to watch what you're saying. Look, that's not even, come on, man.
Back to the security of our homeland and our border security along our northern border.
Well, as we look at securing the borders and having territorial integrity, I have talked with the Chief of the Defense Staff, General Cattignon, about the potential that we would look at looking to seal the north border. They have a system similar to ours where they have government but non-military capability that's augmented by military. While we haven't started any planning, we recognize that any planning to seal the northern border would be done jointly.
Is there a national security crisis? Is there a national emergency at our northern border right now?
There has not been one established, although it's something that we watch closely to watch, both borders to see what's coming across in terms of illegal migration or illegal drugs or other illegal activities.
So to be clear, as you see it, there is no national emergency at our northern border.
Well, I think there's, I don't want to get into semantics. A national emergency has not been declared on the northern border like it was on the southern border, but I do think that we need to look at all of our borders and the security of them with a high level of urgency.
I like him.
So is a trade war with Canada justified right now based on your assessment of our security at our northern border?
Ma'am, that's not my place to answer. I can tell you on the mill-to-mill relationship, which I've stated is very strong with Canada, and they're strong partners in NORAD.
Suppose a trade war will have an impact on our mill-to-mill relationship with Canada. Would it be justified?
Ma'am, that's a hypothetical that I don't think I should address. I do think that that this relationship in NORAD with the Canadians is very strong, and my goal is to keep it strong.
John. Okay, so as I'm listening to her talk, when she was saying where have they fallen short? So is there, because Donald Trump, I see what she did. Okay, I see what she's doing. Because Donald Trump was like, we have a national security at the northern border, and the FBI was saying, there's so much drugs more coming in from Canada than there is. You're a liar. You a damn lie. But she's trying to be clever about saying this trade war shouldn't be going on. What's going on between the United States and Canada is not justified. And she wants a general to say it. He's not in that space to say whether or not that's justified, because that's not his job. That's not what he's, their national security. But she want him to say that because I see what she's doing. She's on Canada's side, basically. I thought she wasn't when she said, "Oh, how have they fallen short on the ground?" But she's just trying to get them to show that Canada has not fallen short. It's just Donald Trump with his BS.
The United States and Canada have shared and prospered from a strong bilateral partnership for several decades. NORAD is a critical component of our homeland defense and provides aerospace warning and control for North America, which includes detection, validation, and warning of attacks, as well as monitoring of aircraft suspected of illegal drug trafficking, a layered all-domain defense. However, the administration has threatened this relationship with comments about making Canada a 51st state and dramatic changes to our trade relationship. Because of this, Canadian officials are starting to reassess whether a bilateral partnership, again, a relationship what makes us safer, is beneficial. At the same time, our competitors have the capability and capacity to threaten all of North America with a wide range of threats. If Canada and the United States were to halt our longstanding military cooperation, would it be harder to fulfill the current NORAD mission and increase the threat on the United States?
Congressman, the binational relationship, the binational command that we enjoy in NORAD between the Canadians and the United States, as you mentioned, has been established for almost 70 years. Everything that we do in the aerospace warning, aerospace control, and maritime warning is interwoven between the U.S. and Canadian capabilities. If we were to lose that,
is the answer it would be more difficult to fulfill the mission?
If we were to lose that, there are certain avenues of approach that we could not cover alone from the United States.
Okay, thank you. And so, with the president's proposal for a Golden Dome, would that make the implementation of the Golden Dome, and I understand this still needs to be fleshed out exactly what it is, would it make it more difficult to implement that system?
Sir, not at this time, because Canada has a policy, a national policy against conducting ballistic missile defense. So all of our ballistic missile defense capabilities are solely U.S.
But if we're looking at early warning and the other aspects of that relationship, would it affect those aspects?
Early warning for ballistic missiles is all the United States. Early warning for cruise missiles is a shared responsibility between Canada and the United States.
Okay. Thank you. And can you tell me, in the July 24 intercept, did Canada participate in that intercept?
The July 24, I assume you're talking about the combined bomber patrol with Russian and Chinese aircraft. Yes, we intercepted with 3 sets of fighters. One of those sets of fighters was a Canadian flight of CF-18s.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's go. So I like how they're doing it, man. You know, a lot of people are against what Donald Trump is doing, and they can't really say it like that. But you see how they're wording what they say in order for you know what I'm saying, you have to look between the lines, and that's exactly what I did. But yeah, man, it's good, huh? So in general, letting you know, hey, we need Canada, just like Canada needs us. We need them as well. And whatever's going on between U.S. and Canada should not be going on. I guess this is just a little rift, and we're going to get past it. I'm hopeful that we're going to get past this nonsense. But us on the ground level, guys, we on the ground level. You know what I mean? We got to stick together, no matter what, man. So I'm going to see you guys in the next video. Let me know what y'all thought about the general. I like the general. I like the lady, the congresswoman from Massachusetts. I like her as well. So y'all let me know what you think, and I'll catch you in the next video. What?